Welcome back for another video. I'm Eharbad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends, and today is episode 36 in the free-to-play challenge series for 2023. It's been a week since the last video, although I did do my first ever live stream on Monday, and I might actually do one either today or tomorrow as well. We'll have to see if I have time or not. But anyway, I wanted to get this update done. We've got quite a number of images to go through and hopefully have a little bit of opportunity to show a bit of gameplay at the end as well. I've actually done quite a lot this week, so it should be a good episode. Jumping into the photos, you can see on Saturday after I did the video, the next thing up was 6-starring Artak. I then also took him to 6-star Ascension. And then I also went and did the Sacred Order Stage 16 backfill, managed to get 3 stars on that. I still have this situation where, Mistress of Hymns and Sanguinia are only 4-star, don't really have proper gear on. And I've kind of reached a point in this faction crypt where I need these champions to 5-star to really progress much further. But at least, we're able to continue to get some good forged materials, pick up some of the slightly better glyphs. I am at the point now where I think I really need to try and get more 5 and 6-star glyphs to go along with the better gear that I'm beginning to accumulate and kind of make those builds that next level, that next stage higher in terms of build quality. I do need both the Great Hall and higher rank glyphs. So that's going to definitely be in my mind over the next few weeks. I want to kick on a bit further in Faction Wars and keep pushing in Doom Tower. Then on the Sunday, I wanted to share this clan boss chest. We managed to get ourselves a legendary book. The shards have kind of dried up a little bit. That purple patch I had with a lot of nice sacred shards has kind of gone. I wasn't really getting any books during that period, but now I've started to see the books come instead, and that's kind of how it is. That you'll get patches, you'll get sequences. Overall, the drop rates are what they are, and over a long period of time, if you're getting 2x chests, you will get what you deserve in the long run. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's nice sometimes in short bursts if you get what you want, and it can help you. If you got like a guaranteed champion or a fusion, it can help if you get that luck at a certain time, but it's best not to worry about it too much. I actually generally try not to even look at my chests. Like on my main account, I just open them and force close them pretty much. I don't even look at it. It's better not to get disappointed by by the bad chests. If you don't even know what they are, then you can't be happy or sad. I then wanted to share this, which is basically I went and did a bit of a rebuild on the clan boss team, and it started with trying to see what can I achieve for Razelvarg. And basically with this mindset that I want to incorporate Farrakhan into the clan boss team in place of Deacon. And as a part of that, I wanted to do a bit of a regear of a number of champions on the account, but predominantly starting with the clan boss team, free up some of the speed gear to put on Arbiter. So this was in my mind, and I started with Razelvarg. I set a fairly wide speed gamut of 233 to 245. I didn't use any glyphs in the optimizer. I preferred to set my minimum speed below what I need and then see what manual glyphing I would need to do to reach a speed that is viable. I also included Farrakhan's crit rate and crit damage buffs for the purposes of solving this, which is why I've ended up lowering the crit rate. So the crit rate of being 80% is including Farrakhan's crit rate buff. So in practical terms, we're talking about 50% for the build. I wasn't quite getting the builds I wanted at 100% crit rate, or 70% excluding the buff. And I just incrementally reduced that crit rate until I started to see builds that were viable. And then here you can see the series of builds that requirement gave. And I've highlighted here in blue the one that I liked the look of. It had a nice blend of effective HP and damage output. And that was quite important to me. And it was also actually a combination of the gear pieces it was using. I felt like some of the builds higher up were going to use pieces of gear that I might want to use on another champion or another build. So this one was a good blend. And importantly, this is in a Stalwart set. So here you can see the actual items in play. It's 4-piece Stalwart with 2-piece Perception, using pretty much the same jewelry that Razelvarg's already wearing, and then generally picking pieces that I've already rolled up and had earmarked that would ultimately be used in champion builds. So pretty good build overall. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, there are some strong pieces in there. You can see like triple rolls on crit rate, speed, double roll on the helm, and double roll crit rate with a single roll speed on the chest. Like, these are really good pieces. Then once in game, you can see I've equipped it. We are at 233 speed here, which is too low for the speed tune. If we go to the next graphic, this is after glyphing. Now, 240 speed was enough for the Ultra Nightmare speed tune, and I believe Nightmare as well. But later on, and I don't think I have an image for it, when I was testing this team in Brutal, it isn't quite fast enough. I needed to hit 243. So I just glyphed a little bit more. Same build worked fine. I just added 3 more speed. I think I actually added 4 more speed. So I think my Razelvarg right now is running at 244 speed. But this is kind of how I end up building champions. I do it incrementally. Same with the masteries, same with the builds. I start with a baseline, I see what works, and I'll iterate until I get, you know, the balance that I want. Arbiter here in a max speed kind of calculation, so using a balanced build with high speed, and then subsequently solving for effective HP, picking, I think, a minimum speed threshold, and then solving for effective HP is roughly the approach I took. Right, then moving on to Brogni, the next key component of my clan boss team. I wanted to get Brogni into Guardian gear. So again, I've given myself a reasonable range on the speed. I know ultimately I'm going to want Brogni to be around 231 speed. So I've got myself a bit of a range to play with. I know that I want to build quite high HP, and I have a minimum defense threshold that I want to hit, and obviously the accuracy as well. Then once that has run its numbers, there aren't that many build options in this case. I don't have a lot of Guardian, and I've been quite specific with my stat requirement. This is the build here in game. You can see ultimately we're hitting 230 speed, so we only need to glyph 1 additional speed, but we also have some room for general other glyphing. And here we go. After the glyphs have been applied, 231 speed, enough accuracy to make it work. It would be slightly optimum for other content if Brogni had a little bit more accuracy. But generally, I'm pairing him with Razelvarg anyway, and we have the increased accuracy. So it's not really a big problem. But this is a pretty good build in Guardian for me at this juncture. And then here is a Farrakhan the Fat build, where I have gone for 2x Defiant. I didn't have the gear to make it work in Stalwart, nor would I be able to do Stalwart plus Defiant. So my best option here was to do 2x Defiant, which gives the same AoE reduction that Stalwart does, plus the extra boost in defense. So it's an equivalent damage reduction to running single Stalwart. So it's a really good set, actually, Defiant. It'd be nice if we had a bit more opportunity to get some more of it. But at least I'm able to, here to make use of a set, and it's been pretty good actually. If we then look at Artak, I decided to start him in a stun build. And I don't know if ultimately this will be the build that I'll keep him in. I would like to try him in regen as well, but I currently have Chronum in the regen. I thought, let's start with Artak in the stun, see how it goes. We got the triple AoE attacks, so he's a really good candidate for a stun set. And like I said, I like to test a build, iterate and refine. So we're going to start off in stun. We'll play like that for a while. And then if we have enough good regen gear, potentially we'll try and switch him into regen. It might be that I find some piece of content where he'll be better suited to be in regen gear. That's why we'll swap him over, and then we might just leave him there, having tested it. I don't know, but for now, we'll start with stun. With the Artak built, it was actually Orc Faction Crypt was also open, which is why I actually prioritized building the Artak, at least in the temporary build. Able to go in stage 4, get the backfill 3-star, do the same on stage 6. Randomly enough, the stage 5 I'd already actually had a 3-star clear, so I didn't need to touch that one. Then stage 7, also got a 3-star clear there. And then stage 8, another 3-star clear. So, we're really racking up those faction war stars. Stage 9, another 3-star clear. And this is really just Artak just ripping through faction wars. So we've got another kind of big carry there. Razelvalg is carrying one faction for us, Artak carrying another. And that's kind of how we'll do the jigsaw of all the faction wars. We'll try and make sure we have 1 or 2 key champions in each faction crypt, build them up, gear them well, and then try and give them a supporting cast, basically. Stage 10, 3-star again, and then I think I ran out of keys pretty much. You can see I've got 2 keys left, and I can't carry on doing more difficult stages. But moreover, 466 stars at this point in time, and got the legendary tome. Then I wanted to include a little bit of tag team. It is bronze 4. I did manage to stay in bronze 4, but I wanted just to show that although I'm running these full auto, I'm picking the team matchups, and I am able to beat teams with higher team power than I have. And I'm just kind of trying to find a good balance of spreading my champions around into ideally winning at least 2, if not 3 battles. Sometimes I'll have to rejig the teams. If I think there's one team on the opposition who I just simply can't beat, I might make my other 2 teams stronger and kind of sacrifice one fight. So we'll go through these pretty quickly. I think I put in a number of images. So here's another one. We only won 2 out of 3 there. The second row, I had very low expectation that we would win. Generally, my Razelvalg team has a really high success rate. My Arbiter team, since rebuilding Arbiter with the gear that I took from Razelvalg, he had my best speed gear previously. I now actually have a pretty fast Arbiter. That tends to be reasonably successful as well. I can move Deacon into the place where Stag Knight is positioned right now and have a better overall speed tune. Ideally, I probably don't want to have double Nuka in that team necessarily. I'd probably rather re-gear Gembo at some point and get him into a proper arena Nuka build. But, these are all kind of back burner projects. Another image here, again, just like those same teams doing the work. I generally look for their best kind of team that isn't necessarily super fast, their kind of strongest defense team, and I put my Razelvalg team against that. I have shown that team a few times. It's got a really high success rate, to be honest. And then I look at a team where Gembo might match up nicely, so we have that ability to reduce the duration of buffs or to kill champions through unkillable. So, like, the Man Eater here was a prime candidate for that. And then, Team 3 is kind of my weakest team, but I felt there was a half a chance we'd win it anyway, and we did. And then again here, similar story. Just we are able to beat these teams with higher team power. Team power doesn't count for everything. Once you start to have a number of champions and you're actually building them well, and you're trying to look for a little bit of synergy within the teams you're using, you can beat a lot of these teams. But we'll just skip through all of those, and ultimately, having done 10 battles, I managed to get to the safety zone on Bronze 4. I think I'm still quite away from promotion to Silver 1. I do need just incrementally even better builds than I have now. Probably a couple more arena specialists than I currently have. I haven't really focused on building any of these champions for arena. They're built to do other roles in other parts of the game, but it's still quite fun to go up against hard teams and see if you can beat them. I think this was one of the highest team power defenses that I went up against, and managed to get the 3 victories. So pretty happy with that. Then this is on the Monday. Took Creedon to 6-star as well. And then I went and did a bit of minnow farming. I used some gems. Like I said, I will use gems when I feel like there's a good return to be had, and getting masteries on Creedon and Artak. And you can see Vogoth here has already started to get some scrolls. Probably will be a 6-star candidate pretty soon. I think it's Vogoth, Husk, or there's potentially one other champion we might consider, but I'll just mention it now. Basically, I might have to do Crimson Helm to get past Bommel. Bommel 10 on the hard side is actually proving fairly difficult, to the point that I think I wouldn't be able to do Bommel 50 with my current roster and gear combination, unless I go for one of these solo champions, and the only really viable one I have is Crimson Helm. It's not something I like to do. I don't really like doing the sort of solo cheese strats so much. Ultimately, I also want to progress, so I think it might have to be done. Then here on the Monday as well, another legendary book, like I mentioned earlier in the video. I have started to see less shards and more books, which is no bad thing. We've got many champions I want to book out, so beginning to get a number of books, build that library is a good thing. Then here is a new PB on Nightmare. So this is with the rebuilds of Rosalvarg and Brobny, but without yet incorporating Farrakhan into the composition. Similarly, got a new PB on Ultra Nightmare with that same situation in play. You can see even just those 2 Regears has had that nice little incremental gain on my clan boss damage. And we're just going to keep iterating. We'll just keep refining the builds, improving them until we get to a point where we're happy with those champions. And then we'll start to work on the other champions, improve their builds, continue to progress in other areas of the game. And there was an Ice Golem tournament going on at the time. I thought it'd be a good opportunity. I had like an advanced quest to do to get like 3 artifacts. So I just went and did a little bit of Ice Golem for like literally 3 battles. It was just like I hadn't cleared past stage 20. So here I was, cleared stage 21, cleared stage 22, and then cleared stage 23. And that was enough Ice Golem for me. I didn't want to hang around doing any more farming of Ice Golem at that moment. I believe there was a champion training going on, which was more interesting to me. And then I was using any spare energy and gems to do Minotaur. In fact, here is the champion training screenshot. Now on the Tuesday, the champion training was finished, got the legendary book from there as well. And then I had a mission, or an advanced quest rather, to do Ultra Nightmare with a rare champion. To do clan boss with a rare champion. And I needed to do Ultra Nightmare with this key. And it was Spirit. So it wasn't like the best damage ever. But even without Rhonda there, throwing in Frozen Banshee in her place, able to get a good amount of damage out. And I just wanted to share that, really, that still able to do all of the advanced quests every day without disrupting the flow, shall we say. Then here's another little Ultra Nightmare clan boss chest, Void Shard this time, and another legendary book. So like I said, little purple patch this week where we've been getting a lot of books. And then I had the Dragon tournament began, and a new PB on Dragon 6 Hard. So I brought in Artak, kind of switched the team around a bit. Stag Knight's in there now, and this team has a lot of decrease attack. We got Stag Knight, Delaja, and Artak all bringing decrease attack. So we're really going to make sure we keep decrease attack on that dragon at all times. Brogni is able to strip buffs as well, which can be handy, although I think actually Dragon has a protected increase attack, so ignore me. But I can't remember actually. I don't watch it enough when I'm running it to pay enough attention. But yeah, like getting a bit quicker. It's still not super fast, but it's not bad. Like 4.5 minutes is not a bad time. Dark Fae on the normal side, managed to get this team to work on auto, so am able to farm a bit of Dark Fae materials. But to be honest, the gear you're going to get on the normal side is just not good enough. So I need to get that progress on the hard side to be able to farm really Dark Fae. Dark Fae is what I want to farm on this rotation, because getting lethal gear will be really important in terms of building those endgame nukers. Able to do it on the normal side. Can we replicate it on the hard side? Hopefully we'll get round to that during this rotation and not have to wait another 3 months. But we've got our work cut out. Then here it is, actually, the proof of the pudding that I was able to farm this on full auto, use the rest of my keys that day. But without getting those epic and legendary materials, it's just not worth it, really, to be honest. Then here is an extra clan boss key that I got on the Wednesday, I believe now. I think it's the Wednesday. It was a daily login day. We got a clan boss key, and this was me clearing out Brutal. 61 million on Brutal. Not a bad key at all. Pretty happy with that. In fact, there you go, 62.75. And then clan boss chest, another void shard, and another void shard. I think I'm probably going to stop including all the clan boss chest keys. It just gets a little bit... It's not I just don't think they're that interesting to keep seeing. But please, in the comments, do let me know. Do you like to see all the clan boss chests where I actually get something good? Or does it become a bit just repetitive and disinteresting after a certain period of time to see the same images over and over? I'm not sure, but let me know in the comments. Skinwalker stage 17 managed to get the 1-star clear there, but like in Sacred Order, Razelvarg is beginning to hit that stage where he can't do it alone. So I will need to realistically get at least 2 or 3 of the supporting cast up to level 50. I'll probably need a second 6-star to really do the rest of this crypt. I think it will end up being Nullhorn who will be the next 6-star in that. Not really perfect for stage 21, but fantastic for stages 18, 19, and 20, and also really useful in some of the secret rooms as well. Stage 18, I managed to get a 1-star clear as well. I think stage 19 is not cleared currently. I also went back to stage 7 and got a 3-star backfill. And then we're back trying to rebuild Farrakhan the Fat. So that initial build I showed earlier in the video was kind of just me having a little look. I didn't actually commit the build. I didn't do it at that point in time, but I was scouting out what I could do. But here on the Wednesday, once we got the 50% gear reduction, I was like, now is the opportunity. I should do the rest of the rebuilds. Also, when I showed the images from the Sunday, I basically ran out of silver. So after we did the gear cleanse, the live stream gear cleanse, I had enough silver to go back and finish the rest of the rebuilds. And I did that during the week. So here is the Farrakhan the Fat. Again, I did that adjustment on the crit rate where I scaled it down incrementally until I found a build that was viable in terms of blending the minimum effective HP that I needed within the speed constraint with the accuracy. So it's an iterative process in terms of how I end up using the optimizer. Here are the builds themselves, and there's the one that I had selected. In game, here it is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same build that I showed before, to be honest, but I can't be bothered to go back and check. Anyway, this was the build we ended up using. We were going to be breaking at Deacon at this point, so as soon as we commit this build, we have to make sure that the speed tune works and get everything else in line. Here is the Farrakhan the Fat after glyphs, 232 speed. I wanted him to be fractionally faster than Brogni in that speed tune. Works really nicely, works on the calculator, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the damage we end up with. Went and also decided I wanted to rebuild Delaja, wanted to get Delaja into Guardian as well, so we'd end up with 2 champions in Guardian and 2 champions effectively in Stalwart. Here's the Guardian build that I selected using the stats that I just shown in the previous screen, and then in-game, after glyphs done, I found that with the Delaja build, the speed range is actually quite loose. It's not as constricted as necessarily the speed tune on Deadwood site suggests, particularly if you're running Farrakhan. There's a little bit more wiggle room than that build suggests, but just use the calculator and you can see what will work. And ultimately, here we went with a 207 speed and it was sufficient. Pretty high effective HP, pretty high HP pool. The shield is derived from the HP pool of Delaja. And then tried to get a little bit of damage in terms of just a bit of crit rate and obviously have enough accuracy. And then here's unfortunately, our first attempt with Farrakhan required us to do it with a rare for another mission. But you can see we got decent damage given that we had a Frozen Banshee in that slot. Then went and also with my newly built Farrakhan went and did Barbarian Crypt stage 19, stage 20, although only a 1-star. And we only went and done it our first Faction War stage 21 clear with that newly built Farrakhan the Fat. So there we go. Another legendary book for our troubles. And then we also finished the advanced quests as well. So there was a lot of legendary books during this week. It's been raining books. Then here's Bommel 50 on normal Doom Tower. Pretty straightforward, to be honest. I don't think Bommel is going to be a problem on the normal side. That Creedon and Vogoth combination working very nicely. But on the hard side, it's still a struggle to bake past stage 10. I've only tried it like 3 or 4 times, and I've probably got bobbled down to like 25% a couple of times. So I think I can probably just about scrape by. But I'm just continuing to progress on the normal side, and I think it'll be more sensible just to bite the bullet and build Crimson Helm. Just not have to go through the anguish of trying to get the skills to sync up, not having a proper healer. Again, maybe if I 6-starred Vrask, I might be able to have enough healing with Creedon, Vogoth, and Vrask to be able to get past. But if I'm going to put the resources into six-starring Vrask, I might as well just 6-star Crimson Helm and know that I can clear all the way up to Bommel hard 90. So I think that's the direction I'm leaning, even if it's not what I typically like to do. Then we have a proper Ultra Nightmare PB here with that new fully built team. Razelvarg and Stalwart. Ronda still in the same build. I will at some point rebuild Ronda. Brogni and Guardian, Delaja and Guardian, and Farrakhan in the 2x Defiant. Absolutely smashed out that 2-key damage. Like, way past the 2-key. It's what we had been talking about on the channel for a while. I did think we'd hit that 2-key threshold once we got Farrakhan, but ultimately, the combination of Farrakhan with those rebuilds, the Stalwart and Guardian combination giving us that bit more damage reduction, we've busted way past the 2-key. So it's a comfortable 2-key now. And with that done, oh yeah, look at that. Isn't it a beauty? We are now top of the clan boss charts. So the gauntlet has been laid down. Let's see if the rest of the challengers can rise to the challenge. And then I did a brutal key, having done 2-key on Ultra Nightmare, 1-key Nightmare, with my 4th key on that particular day, which I think was Thursday. I think this is Thursday now. I went and did brutal. You can see we got up to turn count 59, and I think it was pretty much this exact stun right here took out Ronda. But managed to limp on for a few more turns, get a little bit more damage, just shy of 95 million on brutal. So this rebuild is looking pretty good. I think we can probably get some more damage out of Ronda. We could book Ronda as well. That's something that hasn't been done. And potentially we could move Ronda from Brimstone to Phantom Touch. I think Brogni probably will keep it up enough. I don't know. There's options though. We've got future potential enhancements that we could make, but do we need to? Not really anymore. I would say we're in a comfortable spot. Then on also the Thursday here, we got another Void Shard and another Void Shard. So it's been Void Shard and Lego book week basically. Here's a Nightmare PB now, 66 million. So this team is like properly smashing it out the park. So I'm pretty chuffed actually, because we have no ally protection, and yet we're hitting pretty big numbers. And obviously, you know, Razelvarg and Delaja we got from the Fusion. Ronda was a login champion. This composition ultimately came about because we pulled Brogni and Farrakhan. I think I could have 3-keyed even without, you know, Brogni or Farrakhan. The Razelvarg, Ronda, and Delaja combination would have been sufficient for a 3-key, but obviously to get down to a 2-key does require a bit of luck in terms of the champions. Could have gone double ally protection is another viable way to build this team out. Even single ally protection can work, to be honest. But here we're doing it with none. And then there was a spider tournament, I think, began during the week, if I remember correctly. I don't know, it's all of that. Actually, no, I don't think it was a spider tournament. I think I just literally had an advanced quest that required me to do get some artifacts. And I jumped in and got a new PB on Spider's Den Stage 2, now using the Artak and the rebuilt Razelvarg, the rebuilt Brogni. In fact, I also rebuilt Deacon. Absolutely knocked out Stage 2, 1 minute 28. Like I'm pretty chuffed with that. And I thought, well, if it's that fast, let's try a few more stages. So Stage 3, 1 minute 33. Stage 4 did get a little bit slower there. I think that was probably it. Yeah, that was it. And then beat Scarab 60 on the normal side using this team here. It's basically the same team that I did last time. We had Scarab, but in Brogni's place, previously I had another TM controller, but that particular TM controller is no longer wearing enough gear to be used. So I just threw Brogni in and it worked well enough. I don't think I would necessarily have enough team control here to stop Scarab taking a turn on the highest floor or on the hard side. So I will need another champion with good TM control to place in Brogny's slot. But otherwise, I think this is a composition that would work up to the higher stages on hard if the builds were sufficiently strong. And another Ultra Nightmare clan boss PB on the Thursday evening broke the 50 million mark, which is massive. This does require that same little semi-manual intervention where I use Delage's A3 for AoE 2. And I have to previously I was doing that from turn 19 onwards. Now I can do it a little bit later, but really needs to be no later than turn 25. But the damage per turn is actually really impressive. The video's got so long now, I won't include a clan boss run in this video. But I think maybe when I do the stream, I'll showcase the clan boss team itself, go through all the builds, show the actual run, and that'll be a nice part of a stream. And maybe we'll do a bit of Doom Tower and a bit of like tag team or something like that. I think that could be quite a nice overall stream. We then back to the leaderboard, pulling away. Got a nice 11 million gap. My lead is looking pretty healthy now. I feel bad gloating, but why not? I then on the hero's path, the anniversary path, having done all those regears, I built a lot of champions and obviously rolled up a lot of gear. Got enough to get the legendary skill tome. I actually rolled up like 3 more pieces in the morning. I knew I was pretty close. I was only a couple of thousand away. I was like, it's worth spending that extra silver and get a legendary tome. I then yesterday I can't remember what I had to do now. I think again it was get 3 artifacts, and I thought I'd just try a few more stages of Fire Knight basically. So I did stage 21, 22 and 23, although I didn't take a screenshot of stage 22. I don't think I quite have the champions to do a stable stage 24 or 25 clear, but I think this team will be good enough to farm stage 23, which is Void. I wanted to add this image in from this morning, where it was my nightmare key, and I survived to turn 59 and got 92 million on nightmare. Absolutely. Look at the damage Ronda's done, and that's unbooked. So, Farrakhan hasn't done a lot of damage here. I turned off his A2. I was trying to prioritize getting decreased defense up. So if I did a bit more manual intervention and actually used Farrakhan's A2 when decreased defense was on the clan boss, and maybe, just rolled up a few more accessories to 16, maybe got a few higher glyphs, I think we could probably break the 100 million mark on Nightmare, which would be a nice achievement. But yeah, I'm really happy with this clan boss team. I think it's worked out really nicely in the end. And then his finite stage 24. Is there another image? Oh yeah, we went back and got a faster stage 23 on Fire Knight, and hopefully that is the last one. It is. That is the last image. Like I said, this is a long video with a lot of progress. And hopefully anyone who's stayed to the end has actually enjoyed it. And like I said, I think I will do another stream this weekend, maybe this evening, although I don't know if I'm going to have the opportunity to tonight. If it isn't today, it will definitely be tomorrow. Either way, I'll try and schedule it with a couple of hours notice, and hopefully anyone who can watch it, join in. It'll be a pleasure to chat with whoever's able to watch at the time, and obviously there'll be a VOD after if you want to catch it at a later date. So as always, Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.